Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a quick update for you guys about the former Colorado County Clerk, Tina Peters, who went to prison for Donald Trump. So, as you guys all know, Peters was convicted. She was sentenced to 9 years behind bars because she masterminded and participated in the breach of voting equipment. So, this was, of course, after Donald Trump lost in 2020. Peters is an election denier. She's a moron who, put everything on the line for Donald Trump and lost. Well, she never stopped appealing the jury and the court's decision. And she just caught a break last Friday, although it's not what the right is claiming it is. So, an appeals court agreed to throw out her sentence. And a judge or the judges on the appeals panel said that it needs to go back to the original judge and she needs to be resentenced. So this was a 3-0 ruling. It wasn't close. And the judges said that the court violated Peter's free speech rights because the judge considered in his ruling and in his judgment of 9 years, he considered her election fraud statements that she made after she got caught, and he used that to determine her sentence. So the judges wrote this. They said the trial court's comments about Peter's belief in the existence of 2020 election fraud went beyond relevant considerations for her sentencing. Her offense was not her belief, however misguided. Her offense was not her belief, however misguided the trial court deemed it to be in the existence of such election fraud. It was her deceitful actions in her attempt to gather evidence of such fraud. So, what they're saying in a nutshell is she has a right to believe whatever she wants to believe. She has a right to say whatever she wants to say. That is not, that's not illegal in and of itself, right? It falls under her First Amendment rights, and you can't punish her for saying those things. You can only punish her for the crimes that she committed. So, of course, MAGA is out there because they're woefully uninformed. They're posting on Twitter, oh, she's been vindicated. The court finally admitted she's innocent. They finally are going to let her out. She did nothing wrong. Nothing could be further from the truth. They not only upheld her conviction and said, yeah, she's guilty. What she did, with the exception of just her free speech, her rights to say that the election was stolen, what she did in going in, accessing this voting equipment and giving others access to the voting equipment, that is illegal. And that stands. The judge and the jury were right, and she is guilty. Hey, everyone. Sorry for the interruption, but I wanted to share something with you guys that I think is really valuable. I wish I had known about this when my mother was still around, because if you're 64 or older, there are a lot of choices out there that you have to make in regard to Medicare coverage, and it can be very confusing. And there's supplemental, there's Part D, there's all kinds of stuff. And you could be wasting money on things that you don't actually need, that aren't helping you. So I was very excited when a company reached out. Their name is Chapter, and they said, we may be able to help your audience save some money. Then I found out their services are completely free. So I was like, okay, this actually would be something I would consider sharing with my audience, because they have helped people save thousands of dollars a year. And all you have to do is give them a call. They will let you know if you're on the right plan, if you're good to go. If not, they'll tell you what all the options are. That could be better, they could be cheaper. And if you're new to Medicare, they're going to give you all of your options. They're going to lay them all out so you can start off with the correct coverage so you're not wasting money. And like I said, their service is absolutely free, so you have nothing to lose, potentially a lot to gain, hundreds to thousands of dollars in savings. So give Chapter a call today, 272-225-0752. But then the judges also rejected Trump's attempt to free her. So I'm sure you guys will all remember, I mentioned this recently in a couple of episodes. Trump issued her a BS pardon. It carries no weight because this was a state crime and state sentence. Okay. Well, the judges reviewed that matter as well, and they wrote this in their ruling. They said, "We are unaware of and can find no historical record of any instance of a president pardoning someone for a state offense." So she's not free. They're not saying, "Oh, yeah, you can go. You did nothing wrong." They're saying, "No, we just can't consider her words in sentencing her." And the appeals panel didn't make a determination on how long the new sentence needs to be. They didn't tell the judge, "Oh, you can only sentence her for 3 years," or whatever. They referred the case back to the original judge, which was a point of contention with Peter's attorney. He wanted it to go to a different judge. He tried to say, "Oh, he's biased, blah, blah, blah." They're like, "No, he can do it again. He just needs to remove the consideration of her words." So he's going to be the one deciding what her prison term is. Now, he could give her he could say, "Yeah, it's still 9 years." And even Peter's attorney is admitting this isn't a win. So after the appeals court issued their ruling, he spoke with the press. And here's what he said. He said, "Unfortunately, the Colorado Court of Appeals just kicked the can down the road rather than to do the honest, responsible thing and give her a new trial after her kangaroo trial. She remains in prison after 549 days. Yeah, because she's a criminal. She violated the law." And that's what cracks me up. All these, "Oh, we uphold the law. The Republican Party, we're the law and order party, blah, blah, blah. Lock up the criminals." Oh, well, only if they're brown or black. That's what they really mean, right? If you're a white person, especially if you're a white Republican, no. I mean, who cares if you commit crimes? That's their attitude. Anyway, I mean, such bullshit what he's saying here. I mean, she received a fair trial. She was found guilty by a jury of her peers. Her co-conspirators testified against her and spilled the beans and said, "Yes, here's what she did. Here's what she had us do. Here's what she said to try to hide it." I mean, if she did nothing wrong and she honestly thought that she did nothing wrong, why was she trying to hide it? Why was she trying to keep it a secret? And, if any MAGA cult members are watching this, or they're hate watching this right now, she's guilty of sin, regardless of what you think. And if she had any evidence of election fraud, as you all claim she does, why are Trump and his minions not holding press conferences? Why are they not doing an Oval Office address to share all of this evidence that she uncovered of election fraud? Just admit it. Admit that your loser lost and stop throwing tantrums. Stop making everyone else's life miserable and move on. The woman committed a crime. She's in prison because of it. Period. End of story. And there was no election fraud. Now, period. End of story. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.